Have you ever wondered, what is a food pyramid? Well, here's your answer. A food pyramid is a simple guide for individuals to vary their food intakes according to daily recommendations. It is important to achieve a balanced diet with all the necessary nutrients. No single food can accomplish this goal, as many different types are needed. Different countries have their own food pyramid, but this one's Malaysia's. It has 4 levels and 5 food groups. Each food group is indicated with a daily recommended number of servings, with the bottom level having the largest number of servings, while the top has the smallest.
The lowest tier of food pyramid is fruits and vegetables. Based on Food Pyramid 2020, the recommended servings of fruits is 2 servings. However, for adolescents, it's 2 to 3 servings. As for vegetable, it's at least 3 servings. To achieve this, fruit and vegetable can be incorporated in every meal as a side dish, topping, sauce, prepared together in a meal, or even as a smoothie. Food sources of fruits are apples, strawberries, avocado, etc. and vegetables are leafy greens, yam, carrot, etc. Deficient leads to scurvy, night blindness, constipation, and cardiovascular disease.
The lowest second tier of Food Pyramid 2020 is carbohydrate, which are recommended to eat plenty. The recommended serving of these food groups are 3 to 5 servings, whereas adolescent age are recommended to consume up to 6 servings. Carbohydrates are an essential source that produce energy to maintain our daily activities. Hence, it is recommended to consume carbohydrate at snack meals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The food source of carbohydrates include cereals and whole grain cereals products such as wheat, maize, noodles, bread, oat, and most importantly, rice. Sugars like potatoes and sweet potatoes are other common sources of carbohydrates. Deficiency of carbohydrate may lead to fatigue, weakness, low blood pressure, weight loss, ketosis, and malnutrition.
Protein lies in the third level of food pyramid. It is suggested to consume 3 to 4 servings of protein per day, and this food group mainly consists of poultry, meats, eggs, legumes, and fish or seafood. So how exactly can we consume enough protein? Here are several tips where we should incorporate moderate amount of meat in every meal. Choose legume snacks over chips and crackers, and to replace poultry with seafood in meals alternatively. The protein food source is made out of animal products including poultry, lean meat, seafood, eggs, and legumes such as peanut, beans, etc. Tofu and seitan are the most common meat alternatives for vegetarians. The food group provides protein, important minerals, and vitamins that can't be found in other food groups. Insufficient intake of protein will cause muscle loss, stunted growth. Lacking of zinc intake will lead to chronic liver and renal diseases, while inadequate of folate, vitamin B, and iron intake will cause anemia.
On the same level as protein is milk and milk products. The recommended serving is 2, however, adolescent is 2 to 3. To achieve this, milk and milk products should be incorporated in the preparation of meal or as desserts. The food sources of milk are cow and goat milk, and milk products are butter, yogurt, ice cream, etc. Deficient leads to increased fracture risk, osteoporosis, and high blood pressure.
I'll be talking about level 4 of the food pyramid, fat, oil, sugar, and salt. The recommended serving for fat and oil based on FP2020 is feeding intake of these. How to achieve this? We reduce fat intake by limiting food with high unsaturated fat and replace them with monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fat. We also avoid processed foods containing trans fats. The food source of fat and oil generally comes from vegetable, animal, and marine origin. For example, avocado, chia seed, fat fish, nuts, olive oil, butter, cheese, and whole milk. When we have deficient in fat and oil, it will cause swollen swelling, hair loss, stomatitis, certain sickness, and vitamin deficiencies. The recommended serving for sugar and salt based on FP2030 is limit intake of these. How to achieve? We will replace sugary snacks with fruits and vegetables, and reduce salt consumption by not adding salt and soy sauce in all preparation of food. The food source of sugar and salt generally comes from snacks and sauces. For example, chocolate desserts, fruit, honey, potato chips, canned meat, and soy sauce. When we have deficient in salt, it will cause us to have hyponatremia, and this will lead to muscle cramps, nausea, vomiting, and dizziness. When we have deficient in sugar, it will lead to hypoglycemia, and it will cause us to be hungry, tired, dizziness, and fatigue.
For additional information, water is a crucial diet in our life. The recommended serving of water is 6 to 8 glasses, which each glass is 250 milliliters. Water produces many functions that benefit our body. Without water, symptoms such as bad skin condition, persistent breath, fatigue, dizziness, slower metabolism, constipation, sugar craving, and decreased urinary may occur.
Now you know what the Malaysian Food Pyramid of 2020 is. Remember to eat a balanced diet and not just any single food in order to meet your body's nutrient needs. A balanced diet means not eating too much or too little, but following the recommended serving sizes. Don't forget, more foods from the bottom and less on top. Thank you for listening.